Hey, AfterBuzzers. If you didn't know, it's Kevin Undergaro, the executive producer of AfterBuzz, along with my partner, Maria Menounos.
Hi, everybody.
And Maria and I, as you know, have put so much time and money into the AfterBuzz TV product and really haven't seen a lot in return.
Nope, not yet.
But one of the ways you guys can actually help us is by tuning into our new reality show, Chasing Maria Menounos. It premieres Tuesday, March 18th, 10 o'clock, 9 p.m. Central, and features me and Maria basically bickering, fighting.
No, it's not just bickering and fighting. You get an inside look into my life, behind the scenes.
You'll also get a behind-the-scenes look at AfterBuzz.
It's really funny. It's not just bickering, and it's not fake either. So that's actually something
no.
to think about.
It's definitely not fake. It's definitely not fake. Please tune in on Oxygen, Tuesday, March 18th at 10 p.m. All of your support will help AfterBuzz because Maria certainly won't.
So rude.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Once Upon a Time After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Once Upon a Time After Show.
I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy.
Yeah, you guys go.
I don't know this
I hope you think you're clever. I hope you're happy. I hope you're happy too.
So guys, hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the Once Upon a Time After Show on AfterBuzzTV.com. We are a little bit enthusiastic to be back, and of course we are back with vengeance because it's the Wicked episode.
Yay,
it's the
Wicked is coming!
The Wicked season, I guess. We are back for the second half of season 3. Finally, so many months have gone by without Once Upon a Time, but we finally have filled the void with new episodes. I'm your host, Cathy Kelley. I love that Adele Dazeem song. It was so good.
She's so great. She's such a
so
great
good.
artist.
Joining me to talk about this Once Upon a Time episode, Tiona Hobson.
Hello, I missed you all. I hope you missed me too.
And Kaori Takee.
Hey guys, I missed you all too.
And then running the ones and twos, Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everyone.
So we are all back. What do you guys think? Overall thoughts of tonight's return episode?
I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a grander entrance for, coming back because it's been played up, this whole Wicked is coming and, flying monkeys everywhere. And it looked like this episode was going to be action packed, but I guess they're saving that for, maybe next week's episode. And this episode, it was a good, starter, but just based off of the media that's been behind it, I was expecting big and epic return, and I didn't really get that.
Yeah.
For me, I felt like they gave us a little too much too soon, so because of that, we couldn't get into detail of like everything that's been happening with Emma and how Robin, like what he's been up to. It was an okay entry, but it just a little lackluster for me.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I wanted to see more action, but at the same time, I thought about it and I'm like, they needed to introduce us to so many new things that this episode, I watched it twice. The first time I watched it was very confusing, and then the second time I understood what was going on and, that it was a year ago and then present day and just how the storyline went. Marisa, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, I felt like with all the hype and stuff that this episode was kind of anticlimactic. I mean, it was very slow paced for a big action show that like always throws so much things at you.
Yeah.
So, but I think this was just that slow build up to what the craziness that we are going to see from this new Wicked character.
Because it has been gone for 3 months, so they kind of had to ease us back into it,
Yeah.
reintroduce us to some things, remind us of where the story is and where they're trying to take it. So I understand that, and in that way, I wasn't disappointed. I just felt like, based off the promos, that it was going to be so much more, and it wasn't. But I get get why this episode was like this. And I believe that the rest of the season will be exactly what we're looking for.
Yeah. And I feel like there were just so many things throughout this episode, like little plot, or not plot things, but when, you know, Belle had to go up to Neil and say, like, oh, we'll get Rumple back, just to remind you that Rumple's not there. But it's like, it's little things that we wouldn't necessarily have had to see if the episodes were, there wasn't that 3-month chunk where we didn't get any
set
episodes.
up a lot of storylines with one sentence tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just like that. It's like one sentence and boom, there's a storyline. So they're giving us a lot of different ways that they're going to start going.
So much information at once, because we did have a lot of questions that went unanswered at the mid-season finale. And now, while we are getting some, you know, new things, new story, progressing the story, it's like, I don't know, it's a clean slate, but there's still a lot going on.
A lot more new holes, I guess.
Exactly,
You can say.
yes. So let's start off tonight. Our first topic of the night, Enchanted Forest 1 year ago. This happens right after everyone from Storybrooke leaves. Of course, Emma and Henry have their memories wiped. They go back to New York to have a normal life. But everyone from Storybrooke goes to the Enchanted Forest. We see at first Prince Philip and Aurora. They are there when the dark cloud appears and the Storybrooke people all show up.
I love that they were running from the curse, and he's like, quick, we have to find shelter. But they were running towards an open gazebo. It's like, what in there is going to be shelter
how
They
right
don't even make it to the gazebo.
Yeah. They waited a long time before they started running.
Well, Prince Philip is a little bit more protective of Aurora because she is pregnant.
She's preggers.
She didn't really look that preggers, but Snow automatically saw the glow.
The glow. Snow would know that look,
Snow
wouldn't
knows
she?
what's up.
Someone might be pregnant herself. Yeah.
Snow.
So they find out, all of the Storybrooke people, Snow, Regina, Prince Charming, they all find out that...
Sorry, did everyone notice? Because I heard you say it, and I noticed it too, that we saw Ruby's red cloak in the circle.
She was there.
She was there,
Like
but I don't think they didn't show her face. I don't know if it was
thought I saw
actually
her.
or if we just saw Red's
Alluded
kind
to
of
it,
like
yeah.
hood.
Oh.
I saw a red hood. I never saw her face.
I thought I
but-
saw her. I want to believe I
We
saw
know
her.
that she's on another show, so she's not with us
But I
anymore.
also
She
might
could
have a
make a
little news and
cameo.
gossip for you ladies
Okay.
later about that subject. So,
Okay.
You say it like a news and gossip lady, too.
yeah. Girl, let me tell you.
So Aurora's pregnant, and she tells them that their castle is still standing, which is great news. So they all decide to go off on this trek to return to their castle. Snow suggests to Regina that they all go together to show that they're united. And there are a lot of people still in the Enchanted Forest that are mad at Regina. So this is also protecting her. Regina was actually the one who protected the castle from the curse, which I didn't know. We always kind of wondered what happened to everything there.
Yeah, 'cause
whether
we
it
saw-
all got destroyed.
Yeah, because we saw that Snow and Charming's castle was kind of demolished in it, in that, you know, we never saw what happened with the castle Regina had been staying in. So it is kind of nice that she preserved that. But
And whose is it rightfully? Is it Snow's because that's her father's castle, or is it Regina's because she married into it?
technically, in our world, it's Regina's castle.
I think it's Regina's
Because
as well.
I think it's
she
Patsy's.
married into it. So when her husband died, unless he had a will that stated otherwise, it goes to his wife.
But didn't she kill him?
No
Well,
one. She was never tried
And
and
it-
found guilty in a court of
And if
law.
it wasn't for her, the castle wouldn't be protected. It's all hers.
But
That's
Yeah.
true.
yeah,
That
I
is
mean, it's
true.
just it depends on how you look at it.
Yeah. I think they should all share, and
Yeah.
it should be one big.
I don't know how
I
the
think
laws
that's
of
what
their
they're trying
land
to do,
work.
though. I like this path of these two being homegirls, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like how they're finally working out that relationship because we see the whole back and forth that, oh, you're evil, no, I'm not, yada yada, like, and now they're finally at that point where like we're family and we do belong here together, united. I thought that was sweet.
So, unfortunately, not everything is great. Aurora, after everyone sets foot, Aurora turns to Philip and says, "We have to tell her they're back." Her, I'm assuming, is the Wicked Witch.
Yes.
Who is supposedly the biggest bad that we've seen thus far. She's going to be worse than Rumple, worse than Peter Pan.
We'll see about that.
Worse than Cora?
She's got a
Yeah, right?
Yeah, she's got a lot of evil to out evil. Well, to out wicked, I guess. Yeah. She's not evil, she's wicked. There's a difference.
Exactly.
And
Wicked always wins, according to
Wicked
her.
always wins. So it'll be interesting to see how she is worse than these other people because, you know, in our minds, I'm like, how does it get much worse than, you know, Peter Pan turns out to be Rumple's dad and, you know, sacrificed his son and all this stuff. So
Yeah. Do we think that we're going to see more people from the Wizard of Oz story? Like, are we going to see the Tin Man? Are we going to see Dorothy? Are we going to see Scarecrow?
Well, that's going to be interesting if we do because those people are nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Peter Pan in our minds was a nice kid, but they always find a way to kind of twist it.
Twist the
Ooh,
story.
how twisted would Tin Man look.
The Tin Man as an evil, like, Tin Man, I need oil.
But how useful would Scarecrow be if he was evil with no brain?
Well, she gives him a brain. Or, like, someone gives him a brain.
Evil brain.
Yeah.
Evil brain? That
Evil
could
brain.
work.
What if we see Oz? That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
I think maybe we'll see him.
So, they're all on their way back, and they learn that more Storybrooke people have touched down close by, according to Jiminy Cricket, who is now going to be a cricket, it seems like, forever.
It was like a praying mantis.
No more Archie
Yeah.
Hopper.
It was a
I
cricket.
know. I was so sad to see him
Unfortunately.
like that because I forgot that, you know, now that they're back in Enchanted Forest, that he has to be
I
a
liked
cricket.
him.
But I guess we will see
'cause
Raphael
now
Sabarge because now they're in Storybrooke again.
Just when they do their flashbacks back to a year ago, he'll be a cricket.
Yeah.
When they're
I
in
like
Storybrooke,
him being
he'll
a
be...
cricket. I like them being all in their
But
normal form.
we can't understand anything he says. He has to get translated.
That's what subtitles are for.
all my subtitle said was chirp. I didn't say what he said, but somehow Grumpy, you know, he speaks cricket, so
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I was like, well, apparently Grumpy is our new translator.
Yeah.
But it shows that, you know, Cricket. Oh my God, I'm
Jiminy
blanking on
Cricket.
Jiminy. You know, he still has relevance, even though he is a cricket. He can still relay information faster than other people.
Yeah.
He can fly back and forth, so
Yeah.
he's still important.
So they're all on their way, and this is when we get all of the sub-stories that happen. First, Neil wants to find Emma and Henry, so Snow and Charming remind him that they can't and they shouldn't because right now Emma and Henry are protected, and as much as they want to see them too, they realize that this is for the better and this is how it's going to be. Seems like they're giving up kind of easily.
I think that for them, they're just trying not to dwell on it, kind of like what Snow eventually
They're
tells.
just going to have a new baby.
Well, I mean, just kind of how Snow told Regina a little bit later on, you know, they're all hurting, and the best way for them to kind of keep their mind off of it right now is to rebuild the kingdom, stay focused on that, and then they don't have to, you know, dwell on the fact that they had to say goodbye to their child for the second time and also their grandchild.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I feel like they're just moving on and trying to accept the fact that their new lives are without Emma and Henry, and they know that they gave them a safe haven. So that's what their belief is.
It's kind of something new for Snow, though, because I feel like she was always that person that never gave up. She was always so persistent.
I don't really think it's giving up, but as much as just
Accepting.
and knowing that they gave, or thinking that they gave them a better opportunity.
Yeah. Second subplot is Belle then approaches Neil and says that she thinks that they can get Rumple back.
Because we never saw his dagger.
Yeah.
Rumple, you ain't dead because I miss you already.
So how will they get him
I
back?
mean,
I don't think he's dead because all that was left after was the scroll that had the curse. So I think he might be in the scroll.
and I don't know if this might be a spoiler.
What?
Can we talk about it? I feel like the creators said that he was one of the people that is not going anywhere. That what's his name in real life?
Oh.
Rumpelstiltskin's name. Why am I blanking right now?
Why are you making me blank? IMDb app.
Yeah. Well, I feel really stupid, but they said that
Something Carlisle.
Robert Carlyle.
Robert.
Thank you.
There it is.
Yeah,
I got
Robert
one
Carlyle.
right.
They said that
How did we
he's not
blank
going
on that?
anywhere. So whether it's just in flashbacks or something, we're gonna get more of Robert Carlyle. He's too good not to be around.
And, you know, in the little preview, the recap show that they aired tonight before the new episode came on, he was in there and, you know, he was talking about how it's, you know, down to, I think he said the core 6 of them from the first season. So, I mean, I think that was kind of a implication that he's not going nowhere.
Maybe we'll talk about him in predictions because I have some predictions for him.
Third subplot, Snow catches Regina trying to bury her heart. And Regina just says that she doesn't want to feel the pain anymore. But Snow says Henry would have wanted her to find happiness. She can't do that without a heart. Perhaps with Robin Hood?
This for me was a moment of the night, was their conversation. How Snow actually saved Regina for once, and they completely made this
They're
truth.
soul sisters.
Yeah.
Or I guess stepmom and
And
stepdaughter.
Regina trusted her.
Yeah.
And that's a huge step for the
Yeah.
Wicked Queen. Yes. And like you said, Robin might be her new man.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, it's interesting because Regina and Bay were actually going through sort of the same thing where he couldn't stop thinking about them, except, you know, he couldn't just pull his heart out to stop feeling. But, you know, it's, you know, everyone deals with their pain and their sadness in different ways. And Regina's way is usually, you know, just to take out her heart and stop feeling. But then, you know, that's not going to make her who.
She had such despair, and that's something that we're not used to, and that shows how much she loved Henry. And now she's relying on Snow and the rest of them as a family to get over that. So
And it
I liked
reminds me of Marissa and I talked about this on our Once Upon a Time in Wonderland podcast for AfterBuzz TV. How the writers, they make you feel so much for, you know, the evil characters and the wicked characters. And one moment, you know, first season, you're not really rooting for Regina, and now two seasons later, I'm over here like, no, Regina, don't do it. Like, you have to be the better person. You have to survive this, and you shall overcome, girl. You shall overcome.
Yeah, and I mean, and during that moment when she was trying to bury her, I felt really sad for her because she did have her son ripped away from her right in front of her eyes, and she remembers it. But the fact is, it showed her vulnerability, and then like you really feel for her as an audience member, as just a person. And then, but I loved how Snow's like really working at the relationship, and she's the one encouraging her, be like, this feels like pain now. But eventually down the road, it's going to turn into happiness.
Snow has been in that situation before. She's had her child ripped away from her, so she understands, and she's the one who will be able to console Regina.
It's like out of everyone in that group, Snow's the one who understands exactly what you're going through. You know, it's not one of those people who's just saying, oh, I understand, and hasn't ever experienced it.
Yep.
Snow has literally experienced this. So hearing that from Snow, I think, is what really helped Regina be like, okay, I can survive this.
She is a little skeptical, it seems like. She's not ready to trust everyone. She's definitely not ready to trust Robin Hood, but it seems like there's a little something going on there. So,
yeah, well, you know, she knows. He doesn't.
Yeah.
You know,
she
she knows that he's like supposed to be her lover friend.
No. Does she really know it's him? Because when, you know, that whole episode with the Green Fairy and whatnot, she just saw the back of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
She just saw a guy.
Yeah.
So we know it's him.
We know.
But they both don't know.
Maybe she'll be staring at the back of his head and be like, the back of your head
looks so
familiar.
It looks like a lot of back of heads, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird one. Okay, let's move on.
So, this is when, during this whole interaction between Snow and Regina, a flying monkey comes out to attack Regina. This is the first sign of Oz that we've seen. But yes, a flying monkey comes out to attack Regina. Robin Hood is the one who saves them, and, you know, I guess he joins them. Him and his merry men join them on their path to the castle.
I was looking for Mulan. Where was she?
Yeah.
She's one of the merry
She's
men,
crying.
so why wasn't she there? Maybe
That's
crying her
true.
heart out.
She was one of the merry men.
But maybe she's back at Sherwood Forest, you know, with the rest of the merry men, and she didn't come out.
Yeah,
on
she
this
might.
adventure.
She might be at the camp, which we're gonna see next week. It sounds like, or she's just so distraught about overhearing that Aurora is pregnant, that she was with the Merry Men, but then she's like, I also have to protect her because I love her, but at a distance. I don't know. She's around somewhere.
She's there.
Actually, I know that Jamie Chung has to film Believe, so she was probably not around anywhere, but yeah.
She could be.
She's somewhere.
She's somewhere.
They'll explain it. So they all head towards the castle together, and we learn that the castle was hijacked. There is a protection spell on it that Regina originally put on there, but someone hijacked that protection spell, the Wicked Witch of the West. And Regina, I love this line. She says, I want to know...
Would we say the West, though? Is that jumping the gun?
Okay.
She's a Wicked Witch.
She's a Wicked Witch.
Yeah.
Regina says this line, I want to know who's eating my porridge. I want to know who's sitting in my chair.
I love
Just
that.
a nod to Goldilocks.
Regina always has the best line.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
It's just so cute.
That was a
though.
great one-liner and
Yeah.
a homage to the fairy tale land itself.
Nobody sits in my chair.
Yep, love it.
And then this is when Robin Hood offers everyone their camp. He says, our camp isn't too far from here. We can all stay there. And it looks like we're going to see that next week.
And I was wondering, because the one thing that I didn't like about this whole setup is I know that Aurora says, you know, she's scared. We have to warn her that they're back when she was talking to Philip. Because if we don't, she'll take it out on our child. But after everything that Aurora, Snow, Emma, and everyone have been through, you couldn't throw them a warning?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
kind of how I felt about Aurora. I'm like, after everything, they went back and saved you. you
I
know,
don't
they
like
took-
Aurora's character. I didn't like her from the beginning. And there was a little time when I was like, oh, she's okay. And now I hate her again because she's so selfish.
Yeah, I just felt it was very selfish because if they were in the other, if the tables were turned, they would have definitely been
Snow,
like, hey,
yeah.
so you know, this crazy green witch is looking for you guys. She told us to warn her
This
when you
crazy
got
green
here.
witch.
It's because Snow is brave and Aurora's a coward.
Yeah,
Well,
that's ultimately.
Here's the thing.
What if Aurora was the lion?
I don't even think Aurora's safe from the witch, even if she does
no.
blow their
No
cover.
one's safe.
No one's safe.
That would be cool if they intertwined all the stories and everyone was like, you know, one of the
They had
characters.
another other life that they forgot about.
Yeah,
and
but
were
it's. I mean,
cursed
it's
to
the same
forget.
thing where Rumpel was the crocodile, so Aurora could be the lion because she's afraid of everything.
Of everything.
She has
She
no
does kind of
courage.
look like a lion, I
She
guess.
just needs a backbone. But I mean, she was never the one to be out there in the
Nope.
battles fighting. So
She's
you know,
had
it's all new to
Mulan,
her.
Philip.
And she just got Philip back, so she's probably not going to want to do anything to
And she's preggers,
jeopardize. And she's pregnant now. I get it, but at the same time, you can go tell her that they're back, but tell your friends too that someone is like there is evil lurking here, waiting for you.
What about Philip, though? Philip can tell his woman, hey, woman, we need to help him out. You know?
Well, I mean,
that makes him
does
look like a
everything
pussy,
for
too.
her.
Yeah.
He does everything for her. So let's move on to our world, present day. Before we do that, I just want to take a couple seconds to talk about our show on iTunes. If you're watching on YouTube, then please take 30 seconds, go over to iTunes, type in AfterBuzz TV. You can find our Once Upon a Time podcast there, as well as a plethora of other after shows that AfterBuzz TV puts on. We do about 60 shows a week, so if you watch anything on TV and you want to hear an after show for it, we probably have it. And then if you could also take a couple seconds to rate, subscribe, comment on our after show, we would really appreciate that. We're going to start reading the comments again like we used to.
I have a shout out for this week.
Okay.
One of our YouTube watchers, Joris Royer, I'm sorry if I said that wrong. He's from France. He watches the show every week, and he actually emailed me through YouTube, like a whole long email with all his predictions for the show and that he's a big fan of it. And so thank you for watching and thank you for being a fan. And I loved every single one of your predictions, Joris.
We're always overwhelmed by how many predictions and comments we get on the YouTube page because you guys have better predictions than us half the time.
I wouldn't go there. No, I'm
But
just kidding.
I mean, that's one of the things about this show is that everyone has their own opinion on what's going to happen, and then there are things that we miss sometimes that you guys see. We go back and watch the show a couple times because it's hard to do this after show just watching it once and then go into next week.
Yeah,
but
like Joris was saying how, you know, maybe there's some connection between Rumpel and the Wicked Witch. Maybe, you know, their siblings or cousins or something, you know, somehow their storyline comes together. And I was like, wow, I never even thought to put those two together. I just had, you know, the Wicked Witch and Regina together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys' comments and commentary helps us be better too. So thank you for all the love and support.
We
Yeah,
are basically saying we appreciate all those comments.
you're a
Keep
part
them
of the
coming.
show.
Yeah, and also on the live chat too, because I'm reading that Ryan Metallison also mentioned that Regina has saw Robin Hood's tattoo
Ah,
Oh,
thank
that's
you.
what-
as well. So when she
True.
sees that,
Maybe
Yes.
when he's showering.
When she sees his tattoo.
The
yes.
tat. The tat.
So, we're in our world, present day, New York City, where Emma and Henry have been staying the last year, not knowing anything that went on in Storybrooke. Their memories were completely wiped. Emma has a new boy named Walsh, who I thought looked a little creepy from the beginning. He had a little bit too much makeup on, and you never trust a boy that wears makeup.
The first notes
So
I
no
had
guy in
about
the entertainment
Walsh-
industry then.
Exactly. First thing I do not trust Ryan Seacrest.
The first thing I have written down about him is, who is he? What does he know? Because I just didn't trust him. And the actor Christopher Gorman is also on Covert Affairs on USA, and he plays a blind character. So it was really weird for me to see him actually as a person who can see.
Yeah.
Like,
You know-
thinking he was blind.
But he can see more than we know.
Yeah.
yeah. But in what I wrote, I would put new dude, he's shady, can't trust that smile.
He
Yes.
always Emma attracts bad guys. She just attracts, and I don't think she's ever dated anyone that like wasn't somehow involved in their world. Like she went on that one date, but that was fake because she was a, you know,
a
bounty hunter or whatever. But whenever she gets romantically involved with someone, it's always someone who is somehow connected to magic.
Yeah, and that's just sad. You know, she's trying so hard. I mean,
And I thought my dating life was rough.
I mean, she has no idea even what's going on, and this guy has been dating her for 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just been completely played when she didn't even have a memory of who she was. That's just tragic that keeps happening.
He was
to her.
probably going to marry her and just be under
just
the
make sure-
watch.
Yeah.
You know?
And that also raises the question of, wow, this is how long the Wicked Witch has had eyes on Emma to know
what
her
I said.
whereabouts. You know, she's had a spy on her for the past at least 8 months.
Yeah, and not just Emma, but Henry.
Yeah,
as
Henry
well.
too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It brings into play a whole another world where the Wicked Witch is already 5 steps ahead of everyone. So everyone else has to catch up to where she's at.
I just want to say Henry's been growing a lot.
Oh yeah, his
Oh,
voice
my
definitely
goodness.
cracked.
That's just like
That's why they
tonight's
had
episode.
to go a year into the future.
Yeah.
Because he's aged. I mean, he went through puberty. It happens at that age. But yeah, he's grown. His voice is now lower. It's
But I
crazy.
like him.
Yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like this
He's
new
cute.
new age Henry. And speaking of new ages, Emma's wardrobe was way fancier.
It was different.
It
We
was-
didn't see the normal leather jacket until the
Yeah,
very
and I
end.
liked
I
seeing
know.
her as, you know, she looks so New Yorker.
I almost thought we were
With
going to see
her.
like a BB ad on the bottom or something.
But it kind of reminded me how we were first introduced to Emma in that bright red dress, and she was all dressy, and she was
Yeah.
that girly girl. So
Yeah.
it was kind of like a flashback.
on
to
that bounty hunter date that we were
Yeah.
just talking about. Full circle. So now Emma is on another date with Walsh, and she and him are at dinner. He is about to propose. So while he is giving the ring to the waitstaff, who appears but Hook. Hook, who tried to make out with her in the mid-season finale, but it didn't work. To give her back her memories. He thought he might be her true love, but we all know that it's not. It's Neil.
I don't know, hooker for life.
What was mine? Swan Fire? That's right. Swan Fire.
I still think that I
Rumbell.
saw
Oh my
I
gosh.
I remember in that last season finale, he went for the kiss, but he didn't actually really get to kiss her before she was already like pushing
Punching
him
him,
off
yeah.
of
I
her.
just
So I don't think it counted as a kiss, and
Okay.
they still need to kiss to see if
I do
it's
not
true
feel
love.
their chemistry. I just don't see it. I feel the intensity between Neil.
I think his true love was Mila.
Oh,
And
what?
no,
Hooker for life.
Oh, actually, you know
It's
what?
Emma.
yeah.
I brain
I was like,
farted.
we're on the same.
I'm on
page.
team. Yeah.
Hook and
Nope.
Mila, and yeah. Okay. So, Hook gives her an address, And he says, if you want to know who you really are, if you want to know who your parents are, go here. Emma is not impressed by what he's saying, but Hook tells her to use her superpower. Yeah, he knows about that.
I mean, here's the deal. You're having dinner with your beau, and all of a sudden this creepy guy wearing old-fashioned pirate-looking clothes with one glove.
In New York, that is considered crazy.
Yes,
Like, that is just a homeless dude that is crazy.
Exactly, and telling you,
bipolar.
You need to save your family. And do this, and he's following her around, and then one day he's like, drink this potion. I understand why Emma is very skeptical about this.
Henry was skeptical. He was like, what did he say? He's like, why are you wearing that outfit?
And his answer was, why are you? Love it.
So Walsh returns and proposes to Emma. Emma runs out. She's like the runaway bride. And then they talk about it on the street for a little bit, but she says that she needs some time to think. She's never been one to rush into anything, which is a good idea because this guy is bad news. Emma goes home to Henry, who doesn't have as good a read on people as Emma does, but he says that you should go for it. He knew the entire time that Walsh was going to propose. He was like, oh, yeah, I got it. The dinner, the restaurant, like all these things. He was definitely going to propose. And he pushes Emma to say yes, essentially.
I think Henry at this point, you know, he just wants his mom to be happy.
Yeah.
And he wants his mom to...
He also wants Regina to be happy. That's, I mean, even though he doesn't remember her.
Yeah, he doesn't remember her, but he's just trying so hard. He doesn't want his mom to... I think Henry is wise beyond his years in this episode.
As he has been, though.
Yeah, as he always has been. And, you know, when he tells his mom, like, you can't let what my dad did to us affect the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you deserve this to be happy. If your gut tells you to marry him, then trust it.
Yeah. Emma and Henry talk about this a little more. I love their just little hints to their real world. Even though their memory was wiped, Henry was playing a video game about knights, and we see a little glimpse of Lancelot, I think.
And it was called Diablo.
Yes, Diablo's a game.
Yeah. It's a real game? Darn. I was like, yes,
I could get like some Don Quixote or something.
You know what's funny, though, is I actually thought, why would they have this kind of conversation while playing a video game? Because when you're playing a video game, you're really intense on the game. But
I like seeing them have the video game playing in general because we never saw Henry really playing video games
being a
lot.
kid. I know
yeah, being a kid in Storybrooke. So here, you know, he's sitting on the couch just like, yeah, Mom, how's the day?
Zoning out.
You know, zoning out, just...
He's also a teenager now, and as I know, when I was a teenager, I zoned out and did not want to, like, I would be, like, watching TV. Yeah, Mom.
That's why I thought it was weird that they were having such a heart-to-heart conversation about her getting engaged because she was zoning out.
No, you know, I thought it was kind of realistic because this gave the audience that visual of what their lives would have been like had Emma not given up Henry the first time. So their relationship together.
Too.
So, but
he's a good kid,
nice.
and he's smart, so he can multitask.
And she's a fun mom who plays video games. What
teenage
boy wouldn't love their mom?
Does Henry have any evil in him at all? I mean, he does everything so well and so sweet and kind.
He's a better kid than I was.
He was evil when Peter Pan was inside his body, but that was it.
That wasn't him then.
Yeah, that was the only time.
So Emma's response to Henry telling her to go for it is, I want to make sure nothing is wrong with him, with Walsh. So Henry said, sometimes you just have to accept that things are good. He then asks Emma to sign his permission slip. This is the next day during the morning. He asks Emma to sign his permission slip. And I was wondering whether there was anything
more to that.
But we never really got an answer because they ended up leaving and going to Storybrooke. Emma decides to, I guess her curiosity peaks, and she goes to the address. And it's Neil's apartment. There is the dream catcher there. She sees his mail, and she finds Henry's camera, which she gets the pictures developed off of, which we never see. It was kind of weird.
Actually, no, we do.
It was quick, but it was Emma
like just
in front of
Emma and Henry
in front of a sign that said Storybrooke in like a booth.
But like they described a lot of the pictures, and we never got to see all of them. Like Henry and Emma on a plane. Henry.
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 But like a French person.
Yeah. So they did talk about it, but we never got to see all of them.
I like it.
And then Emma confronts Hook after she goes to the apartment. He gives her the potion to restore her memory, but she doesn't take it. She instead handcuffs him and gets him arrested because that's a normal reaction when you realize that your life is a lie.
But it was such a flashback moment too when the first time she chained up Hook up in the
beanstalk?
beanstalk castle. So it just reminded me of that.
Poor Hook. I'm just gonna say it because
He
I'm
ain't
a
giving
hooker
up.
for life. He's persistent, if anything else. He's listening to her talk about, her boyfriend. He's reliving being tied up by her for the second time, and
he has to go to jail overnight.
He's like he came to get her, doesn't know what they're going into or what's been cursed.
But he's doing it all for her, is what he said.
But it can
He's
come
a
off as
changed
creepy.
man.
It can come off as creepy when he says that
A little stalkerish.
he's not doing it for the family, and he's like, "I'm doing it to save you." It's like, ooh, that's a little creepy.
But he loves her.
I know, but I know.
If you love someone, you also love their family.
Swan fire. Done.
So,
We'll for life.
Emma gets
That
the
can
pics
come off
developed.
really weird, by the way.
Yeah.
I love seeing it hashtagged on Twitter though when people
She's
tweet
a
me and
hooker
say
for life.
hooker,
I don't know
hooker.
if it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm a hooker too, but
That's a different
I thought you were on my side.
I love both of them. I want Neil. I love Hook, and I want him to be single. I want Neil and Emma to get together. So Emma gets the pictures developed, and she meets Hook outside the police station. They talk about the pictures. She drinks the potion. Very Alice in Wonderlandy, I thought, drinking the potion. And this restores her memories. Everything was very easily solved.
That bothered me. I wish it was a little harder and more of an obstacle for her to get her memories back.
I agree, but how boring would it be if we just saw Emma and Henry's regular
Yes,
lives?
Yeah.
I agree with that
episodes?
too, because it was kind of dull.
And I feel like that's why they did it, because I was reading a lot of interviews with Addie and Adam. Eddie and Adam.
Adam.
Yeah,
he's Addie to you, I
saying
guess.
Addie.
I
We're gonna
suppose.
ship their names together, Addie. And they were talking about how we don't have to wait long for to get things started, because how boring would that be if
It
we had to
would've been
sit
boring.
through yet another thing of people not knowing who they are? We've already done that in season 1. We don't need to go back there.
The year of the story is I feel like we'll get those bits and pieces later on, and we'll see what happened in that year.
But you guys, we're back in Storybrooke again.
Yeah.
That's kind of a
So let's talk
Loopy.
about that. How we get there is, so they only have potion for one of them, so it's kind of weird because Henry still has no idea what's going on.
Poor Henry.
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
He'll be
they
okay.
switched roles,
If-
guys.
if one of them
Henry
needed
had to
to
be the one
remember.
to convince Emma the last time, and now Emma has to be the one to convince Henry
boom. Logic
Of-
right there.
of everything. So maybe he's the savior this time.
The logic of Tiona Hobson. I like it. That was good.
Putting one and one together.
So Hook goes to Emma's to explain everything. He says he got a message. There's a new curse. And Emma is the only hope. He came all the way back to save her, specifically, no one else. And someone powerful enough to reach this world, is the one that enacted the curse, which we think is the Wicked Witch, because she had the flying monkey there.
Yeah, she had Walsh there.
Mm-hmm.
And
So-
he never says who sent him the note. And I don't know if that's because he didn't want to tell her who it was, or he doesn't even know who sent him the note.
You would think that if Emma knew, if she got all her memories back, and she knew the stories about Wizard of Oz, and she saw a flying monkey attack her, that she knows that it's something to do with the Wicked Witch, right?
Well, this is afterwards that she sees the flying monkey. But yeah, I think she will she will be the one
Yeah.
to piece it together.
Yeah.
But it also, the flying monkey didn't really look like a monkey. It just looked like a flying gargoyle.
It did look like a gargoyle.
But it did look scary.
Yeah,
did.
it was
Like
scary.
it's something
Yeah.
threatening.
Definitely.
So this is when Walsh shows up because Henry invited him for a romantic dinner. She could accept his proposal, and it doesn't really work out that way. Emma rejects his proposal, saying, I need to go home. Henry and I need to, work out some things. And Walsh gets more and more angry through this conversation. Turns out he's a flying monkey, and he says, I wish you didn't drink that potion. Flying pig would be more like it. So they duke it out. Emma ends up hitting him in the wing. He falls off the edge of the roof and then turns into a cloud of dust. So was he even real in the first place, or was this magical?
He's real. I think that he just maybe can't be killed here. Or maybe that's like a portal
did he
back
really
into...
die, or
I don't think he's
sounds
dead.
like resurrection.
I kind of think like he's one of
Is
many
he really
though,
dead?
because he's a flying monkey.
Yeah.
There's
But I
a
feel
whole
like-
army of flying monkeys.
Yeah.
But I feel like when we see the Wicked Witch at the end of the episode, when it has been flat, she goes, did you get what I needed when it was flashback to a year ago? I feel like that's her number one monkey. And
it looks more like a cloud, like the dark cloud that made everyone go. It didn't seem like dust.
puffed
So
back. So I think that he is, kind of the
lead monkey?
The lead monkey.
The head monkey?
The head monkey in
may
charge.
see him again. We'll
Captain Monkey.
Yeah, but I don't know if we'll see him in human form or only in
monkey
monkey form. Because I'd like to see him in human form again, too, because, again, once they're animals, I don't know what they're saying. And I don't like that.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Cathy Kelley.
Sounds like a dying monkey, which he is. So, anyways, Hook, Emma, and Henry leave for Storybrooke, and it's back because there's a new curse. David, Emma goes to see her parents first off. David opens the door and he says he remembers saying goodbye, but he does not remember anything from the past year. So they clearly don't remember being in the Enchanted Forest, having the castle hijacked, all of that stuff. A year has gone by, and the biggest surprise is Snow is pregnant.
Surprise!
That's how
not
they know it's
surprise.
been a year.
Yeah.
Because time
Well, it's been
clearly...
less than 9 months.
Yeah, time clearly isn't standing still in Storybrooke this time because her belly has time to grow and
Yes.
life is being born.
So I'm assuming that it's not. Did they mention whether it was just they're repeating days again, or is it they?
Oh, they didn't
After
mention
that year, they don't know what happened after that amount of
I
time.
feel like they just don't know what happened in their past year, but they're living every day a new day because if time were like she couldn't get more and more pregnant without someone.
Well, but that was the thing
noticing.
with old Storybrooke is that no one really aged, and it was day after day. But then Henry still aged, so
Yeah.
maybe they're still aging, but I don't know. So, anyways, year of their life lost. Hopefully, it will be restored, or their memories will be restored. I don't know why they couldn't use the potion on them to restore their memories.
I don't know.
I don't think they had
gave
enough
Hook
They
the
didn't have enough.
potion.
They only had one for.
They only had
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
No.
And Hook said he could only scrounge together enough, so it wasn't something that was sent to him in the note. It was something that he had to go find
Acquire,
or do
yeah.
himself, wherever he was in that last year,
Yes.
since he wasn't in the Enchanted Forest.
Maybe the potion ingredients were only in Neverland. Who knows?
Maybe.
So,
Maybe it's Peter Pan's brain. I don't know. Thoughts.
Wow.
it could be interesting to see how all of this progresses, but we do know it seems like the Wicked Witch is behind this new curse because we see her finally. I thought we were going to see a lot more of her this episode, but we finally see her at the end of the episode, and she needed Regina's blood. That's why the flying monkey attacked Regina. I wonder if it was the same flying monkey. That was Walsh.
That's what I'm thinking
Okay.
that it was, that he's
So,
the same one.
Yeah, a flying monkey gives her some of Regina's blood, and she is using this for revenge against Regina. And
Now-
she says, Wicked always wins.
Now, isn't it interesting that in order for Rumple to seal his curse, he had to have the true love was, what he had to include in there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And for this one, she needed Regina's blood. So I think in order to break it, it's going to have to be something to do with Regina because she might be what's sealing the curse
Maybe
together.
Regina's her true love.
Or maybe...
Maybe they're going that route. I don't think so.
Or something against Regina.
Yeah.
Because when Rumple was making the curse about true love, he needed ingredients from Belle and not Belle, sorry, from Snow White and Prince Charming.
Yeah.
So that was to go against them, and so this new curse is to go against Regina. So that was just an ingredient.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see all this, how it plays out. I'm so excited for Once Upon a Time to be back, though.
Yes.
So we need our news and gossip for the night.
I want to ask real quick. What did you guys all think of the Wicked Witch's reveal?
Oh, I mean, I already saw so many promos about
Yeah.
it.
It wasn't really
See, because I saved it
that
to like.
revealing. 'Cause
Oh, how did you save
there's
it? It was
billboards
on
everywhere
It was on
now.
ABC
Well, you
like
don't see
every
your
2
face.
minutes.
You see your face? I don't know. I
Yeah.
managed to like pass that by, but that's why the reveal was so big for me.
Oh no! I
I
mean,
thought
I
that-
knew who it was gonna be from.
Yeah.
You know.
Social media,
I had no
Yeah.
idea.
all over the place.
all over the place.
Okay, now you guys go on.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Speaking of new and old faces, we have some news about casting. Adam Horowitz tweeted out a couple weeks ago that we're thrilled to have our favorite wolf/waitress Megan Ori will be returning this season to Once Upon a Time. They didn't say which episode, and she also kind of hinted at it at the NBC upfronts for her new show. Or CBS upfronts. Yeah, CBS upfronts for her new show that, Red definitely wasn't gone or out of the picture. And so they are finding a way to bring her back. As of right now, as much as we all loved Robbie Kay as Peter Pan, they love writing for the character, but they say that we won't be seeing any more of Peter this season.
Oh.
But, maybe there's a way to write him in flashback episodes or something later on. They just said he was such a fun character to write for that they would love to have him return at some point. Marissa will love this. Rose McGowan will be returning for an episode as young Cora. And this just in from my phone, Sunny Mabray has been cast as Glinda the Good Witch.
Oh,
Because
I like
that's
that.
actually she was with, or I don't know if she's still with Ethan Embry. So isn't that? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I didn't even put
that's
that
his
together.
baby mama. So it's all in the family.
It's all in the family.
Just like in the story, yes.
They also did an interview, according to Access Hollywood, Adam and Eddie, I said it right that time. They were talking about how this season they really wanted to bring back the Huntsman / Jamie Dornan, but then he got cast as Christian Grey.
Oh, goodness.
So we
That
won't.
stupid, awesome 50 Shades of Grey movie that's
Awesome
gonna
movie
go
that
out.
I can't wait to go see. So
Midnight Showing.
Access Hollywood asked them what they had in store for Dornan this season, if he had been able to come back, and they said, ask us that after the finale. And then we will tell you exactly what we wanted to do, and then you will be so bummed that we didn't get to do it, and then you will have the same look on your face that I do right now, which is sadness.
Oh no.
So now I really want to know what they had in store for him. Was he going to come back to life? Was he going to be alive and back on the cast?
That would have
And
been cool.
It's
What if
never
he
too
was
late.
like Regina's actual true love and they had to
they-
rewrite it?
What
so
if
it's
Regina
Robin?
was in a love triangle for once? Robin Hood and the
She
sheriff.
deserves it.
That'd be
She
great.
definitely
Emma has
deserves
all
it.
these men, even if they're just pretending to be in love with her to like get to her.
Yeah.
But,
And then episode 17, I have a spoiler on the title.
Spoiler alert.
It's going to be titled The Jolly Roger, and it's going to be more about Hook's backstory, and it will feature the pirate Blackbeard.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
and I don't know if anyone's been watching Black Sails, but
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
Blackbeard's been on that,
Blackbeard's
and
in
he's
that.
a notorious pirate. So it'll
I
be
hope it's
interesting
not
to
too
see.
Pirates of the Caribbean-y.
Yeah, I hope so too. And on
Although I love that movie.
Yeah, and the last bit of news and gossip on Good Morning America, Josh Dallas was talking about, what's in store for him in Snow, and as we all found out tonight, she's going to be pregnant. And he said, basically, if you saw Ginny now, you would know that hiding the bump is going to be a difficult thing for Snow and Charmy, so they're going to have a baby.
Yeah.
And then talking about their real-life baby, he did not reveal the gender. He was very neutral. He said, we just can't wait to meet it.
When's it due?
Well, they announced it in November, and I'm assuming she was already through her first trimester, so that's usually when people say things. So
I wonder if
soon.
Ginny's gonna give birth at Disneyland because I know that she loves
She's there
Disneyland
all the
so
time.
much.
Yeah, she's there all the time. And then they just said that on the same interview, Lana Priya was just saying, that Regina will have her love interest in the back half of the season. And as we saw tonight, Robin Hood was there. So hopefully more things will blossom.
That's cool. And I actually read a couple interviews too. Jennifer Morrison said that because her character, Emma, has her memories back, and then Henry doesn't, she's actually, this might be a little bit of spoiler, but she's actually trying to keep Henry not to remembering, like she'll interfere with that a bit because she wants Henry to actually have as normal as a life as he can. And so I thought that was interesting.
How long can she keep that up though?
Yeah, next week we see flying monkeys in Storybrooke.
Yeah.
He's there.
Yeah. Don't look out the window, kid. So let's move on to our predictions for next week and the rest of the season.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I don't want to start.
Okay. I have a prediction from Twitter, actually. Rumbell, that's how I got the idea for it, Arch_Nino said, I think the Wicked Witch will turn our characters into the characters of Oz.
Oh.
And that could be part of the curse. So, cool prediction from Twitter. Send us your predictions, as we said, on Twitter or on our YouTube page. But yeah, so now you don't have to go first.
I still don't have one. Go.
We were talking about Rumple. We also don't think he's gone.
Yeah.
I think that he is going to be pivotal in saving them somehow. I think he's going to come back and do something before the season's end. That's all I have for now because there wasn't so much given to us in this episode.
Yeah,
it's hard to make a prediction. I predict that Emma is going to have to deal with the fact that her parents are now having another baby and the feeling of them just forgetting about her immediately after it happened.
Because babies are cute and 30-year-olds aren't that cute.
Yeah, and the baby will get to have the life with them that she never got to have.
Yeah.
I also predict that crap, I forget it.
Do you guys think that she's going to, because they're all in Storybrooke and I guess Neil's there right now?
Yeah.
Do you think that Henry is going to know that's my father? Because
Well,
he knows his
we
name?
actually don't know who all is there because the curse, we don't know whether it was everyone from Storybrooke was sent back to Storybrooke or if it was just specific characters.
And because here's a thing. Neil wanted to stop at Rumple's castle to get something.
Yeah.
But we never found out what it was. So if him and Belle kind of went off on their own to go do their thing with Rumple, then they might be safe from the curse because, I mean, we know that Hook
I think
was
that
safe.
Neil's not there because Neil and Emma can't always be together because then it's just a happy ending. You know?
But I like happy endings.
Not
I
happy
do
ending
too.
because she's not going to be with him.
She will.
I think another thing, thanks to Rumble at Arch_Nino, he said that the Robin Hood's tattoo was a lion. Maybe he's the lion.
But he's so brave.
Oh.
But maybe that's just a a facade.
Now he's brave and he wasn't brave before.
Exactly. And also I think this humongous curse and how the new Wicked Witch came to being, I think she kind of like piggybacked off of Regina's curse and kind of like use that as a kind of like an assist, like an alley-oop. Someone has to start it off and then you finish it. And I think that was the Wicked Witch's new way. Like it opened this time portal kind of thing and this opportunity to get into wherever she needs to go.
I have a really far off prediction, but I predict that Aurora's baby and Snow's baby are going to be true loves.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just to make this whole family tree more convoluted.
Yeah. And just for a fact check, at Hungry Slytherin tweeted saying that Walsh was the monkey Robin Hood stabbed. If you looked at Walsh, he had a scar on his neck.
Ooh, very, very.
The little details.
I like that. That's why we love you guys.
Yeah. So thank you for fact checking us there.
Cool. So, do we have any more predictions or anything else we want to talk about?
No, I'll have more tomorrow.
Yeah.
I predict we'll be here next week.
I predict that as well.
I know where I'll be for the next 10 weeks.
So please keep the conversation going on YouTube and Twitter. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at the Tiona Hobson.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at KAORIOUS, Kaorius.
And you can follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at Serafini TV.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. You can find all of us here on Twitter at AFTERBUZZ TV. So as I said, keep the conversation going. Share your predictions in the comments on YouTube and on Twitter. And until next week, we'll see you next time. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.